I'm Young John, and welcome to Toy Fair 2020.
Welcome to New York Toy Fair. My name is John Rudy. I work for Dark Horse Comics, and it's my pleasure to show you off all of our amazing new products that we have for you. We are graced with the pleasure of being able to work with both the Netflix Umbrella Academy TV show with our upcoming prop replicas that eagle-eyed fans would be able to see throughout the first season. They're absolutely beautiful and very intricately designed too. Like, we wanted to make sure that the color tones were absolutely perfect for each of the characters. Just to the right, we have the pleasure of working with Gabriel Ba and Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, who were the original creators of Umbrella Academy, the comic book, which the Netflix show is based off of. So we're really excited to show off our brand new line of figures, minifigs, for the Umbrella Academy. They're all based off of the comic book characters, so they're a little bit different from the Netflix show, but we highly recommend checking out the comic because it's absolutely amazing. We have Space Boy, we have Kraken. Right behind on the unpainted side, we have Klaus. Everyone knows him from Klaus. He's a fan favorite. Also known as Seance in the comic books. Number 5, looking at his time watch, also having that AK-47, very iconic. And then we have Rumor, and then of course Vanya, the white violin. So those are all our upcoming products. Price of them are TBD, but they will be coming out later this year on Q4. And if you are unaware of what Umbrella Academy is, it's a very adult take on a mutant, dysfunctional, superpowered family. It's one of the most popular streaming shows on Netflix right now, right below Witcher actually, which is amazing because that's another kind of thing that we are associated with, since enamel pins are kind of the rage right now. And also blind boxes are really cool. We decided to utilize the amazing art of Gabriel Ba and make character enamel pins of each of the characters and do an enamel blind box set. So those are going to be coming out later this year. We're hoping for September. Right now there's 12. I think we're working on a max of 15, but everyone wanted more because they liked the design of them so much. So these are just got approved, and they're in output right now. I'm extremely excited to show off and reveal for the first time at New York Toy Fair some of our Cyberpunk 2077 figure line. It's been an absolute pleasure working with CD Projekt Red on the Witcher 3 figures and products, so it just fit perfectly that we kind of segued into Cyberpunk 2077. We're working with a brand new sculptor and paint outfit at level 52, and they're absolutely gorgeous. The paint jobs on all the figures are just immaculate. If you look around closely at all the decal work on all the jackets and the guitar of Johnny Silverhand, it's absolutely beautiful, 100% spot on. Kind of crazy is that Johnny Silverhand arrived at our hotel room actually Thursday, just preceding New York Toy Fair, and we took some cell phone pictures and shot at CD Projekt Red, and they were so happy with the paint and how it looked that they really wanted to show it off. So we're still waiting on Keanu Reeves' final approval, but I hope he likes it as much as we do because, as he would say, it's absolutely breathtaking. But I love that we wanted to add both him being the legendary rocker boy from the band Samurai, so we wanted to integrate the guitar as well as his, slick gunplay. So we wanted to say that he's bringing an axe to a gunfight. These guys are slated to come out in August 2020 at $49.99, just prior to the game release. And also a surprise, we were very elated to see that Jackie made it as well. Obviously, Jackie will be painted in the final concept. Also, a lot of you guys will probably notice that the bases are a little different. Jackie, he's a big boy, so we actually had to modify the base design and increase the size to accommodate his girth. In the final production, all of the bases will be the same size and be about the same size as Jackie over there. We're going to be doing a 5-figure line. As said before, Male V and Johnny Silverhand are going to be coming before the game release. We're trying as hard as we can to make sure the female V figure comes out just prior to game release, but that one's still in approvals, and we wish we would have been able to show it off, but we want to make sure it's perfect. We want to make sure it's great before showing it off to everybody. I especially love the decal work on the back of the jacket of the samurai and the mantis blade of his arm. Just the brushwork and the dry brushing that's used on the jeans and the leather jacket and even the leather pants. They just did such a good job that it just looks so realistic. And that's the amazing thing of working with CD Projekt Red. Those guys are really they're just fans themselves, and they just want to make the best products for the fans, and that's kind of where we're at too. So the cool thing about Dark Horse is everything is creator owned. It's a small business of only 150 people, and that includes editorial, that includes all the tech. Like everybody, it's really small business, and we're all just really passionate, and everything is owned by the creators. Not a lot of people know that because, you know, everyone sees Dark Horse and sees them as this big, mighty corporation, but like we're just a tiny, small business in Milwaukee, Oregon. It wouldn't be a Dark Horse booth if we didn't show off some amazing new Hellboy stuff. So there's a new Hellboy board game that's made by Mantic in conjunction with Mike Mignola and Hellboy and Dark Horse. And what's amazing working with Mantic is they have absolutely insane detailed little figurines for their games. So we work with them to modify those little figurines, blow them up a little bit, give them a little bit more detail, and paint them to do assorted products with them. We have an upcoming Hellboy ornament coming out for this holiday season in 2020. So perfect for a tree or a mantle or whatever people want. That one will be available in October 2020. And directly to the right is another of the most highly anticipated games of 2020, Last of Us Part 2. Absolutely amazing working with Naughty Dog, and it's so cool to just see the reaction of the fans when we were showing off this figure initially. So this is our retail version of Ellie with a bow. It's $49.99, is going to be coming out in June 2020. Our first product that we actually showed off with Ellie was the same pose and same bow, but that was through our direct-to-consumer program, Dark Horse Direct. It's still kind of a new program, so we were kind of iffy about how much we wanted to make the limited edition quantity of that one. So we set it at 500, seeing how people would react, and it sold out within the first 45 minutes. And that's, $200+ poly resin statue. So we're like, yeah, people are looking forward to this. So we're extremely excited to show off the retail version that's going to be available for anybody at your local hobby stores, online. We've been working with Blizzard for a really long time on the publishing side of things, but now they've really enjoyed our ship replicas previously released with like Halo and Mass Effect, so they wanted to see us kind of stretch our muscles and see what we could do with the Terran vehicles. And these are a 6-inch polyresin statue. We really love working with polyresin, especially just because the paint adheres to it so much better. We're able to get those extremely small, minute details. So our first vehicle that we're presenting for the StarCraft license is the Terran Battlecruiser. That's going to be available in 2 different varieties, at least initially. You know, sky's the limits if people like it. But right now you can actually pre-order the metallic variant that's on the left through the Blizzard store right now domestically. For everybody else that's interested, we have the Terran Battlecruiser on the right. Both are going to be available on shipping in October. And then the non-metallic retail version is going to be available also in October for $49.99. Game of Thrones have been our bread and butter for a really long time, and you know, some people have their own opinions on the final season, but we still want to continue showing our love for the property. So we have the Jon Snow premium figure that is currently available right now, and we also have the Daenerys figure, which is absolutely beautiful. I know people have their qualms about how her character progressed throughout the storyline, but we can remember her fondly back when she was a sweetheart with Jon in this awesome, absolutely beautiful PVC statue that we have. And then right behind that, we have our Dragonstone Stein, which is kind of modeled after the Dragonstone Keep, which used to be the Targaryen capital off on Dragonstone. So it's modeled after the Keep's chiseled stone walls with the dragon. So pretty much beautiful for any fantasy fan that kind of wanted that to display. These are my babies. So this is actually one of the first properties that I was able to work on as a product development manager at Dark Horse Comics. It blew my mind. I definitely fangirled over it. Castlevania on the NES was one of the first games I actually played as a kid. So being able to work with Konami directly was such an honor. Then we made kind of these rubber stylized 8-bit pins that Konami just loves. And then we have the 4-pack magnet set, and then the magnet set available right above that as well, which also comes with little blocks so you kind of reenact your favorite scenes from the game as well, if you want. Directly to the right is easily one of my favorite games of all time, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It kind of was like a hallmark through the franchise and just influenced every Castlevania game after that. I definitely went to town on this one and actually worked on getting the screen grabs and the assets directly for this game. We wanted to kind of feature a lot of the amazing portrait concept art of many of the main characters, such as Maria, Alucard, Richter, and Dracula, both in a magnet 4-pack as well as a enamel pin set that kind of has an epoxy over it as well. And then above that features a magnet set with a lot of your iconic boss battles. I wanted to add a lot of little fireballs so people could have fun with it. and play around with the different characters with Alucard, Maria, Richter, Dracula shooting off some fire blasts with his open cape, and of course Succubus. Everyone wants Succubus on the refrigerator, so yeah. Our upcoming figures in partnership with our buddies over at First 4 Figures, as Dark Horse Comics is the US distributor, just coming off the amazing Sonic movie, the Sonic the Hedgehog 11-inch figure. Those are open for pre-order right now through your local retailers or online, and those guys should be coming out a little bit closer to Q2. And that guy is $84.99. And then I'm not sure if anybody's heard of My Hero Academia. It's kind of a cult classic. No, it's amazing. One cool thing about this 12-inch All Might figure, which is kind of different than a lot of the others that are on display, is that this one is actually modeled after the action figure that Deku carries around throughout the series. The base is a magnetic base, so much like Deku as he's carrying around his action figure, you can take him off the base and carrying him around as if he's moving around and stuff as well. And unlike a lot of First 4 Figures products, this actually has articulated arms just like the action figure from the show too. So it's really fun. And it's absolutely beautiful paint job that actually has the shade and the shadows painted into it, just like the figure from the show. Legend of Zelda, the Princess Zelda figure from Breath of the Wild just came out about a month ago. So that one is currently available through online, local retail stores. Amazingly, the Princess Zelda goes really well with the Breath of the Wild Link figure that came out a few years ago. It's a really good companion piece to that as well. For all you sadists out there, we always want to give the Dark Souls love. So continuing on the line of SD figures, because previously we released a Solaire and Arturius figures. We're happy to do the Dragon Slayer himself of Ornstein. Absolutely gorgeous, gold, immaculate design, very intricate PVC work on this. So we're really excited that First 4 Figures is letting us show this one off too. Now that we talked about all the stuff coming up, we're happy to show you all of the amazing products that you can buy right now. Here is kind of our mock retail area of our best-selling and newest products available at Dark Horse. There's a little thing called The Witcher TV show on Netflix, which has been doing pretty well. So fans that are brand new to the franchise, I would highly recommend checking out The Witcher 3. That's available, PC. It's now on Switch, PS4. It's one of the best games out there, especially if you're an RPG enthusiast. Right now we have on display our most recent series of figures. We have Regis the Vampire, which is one of Geralt's best buddies in the games. Ciri in her DLC costume. This is the Ciri Series 2 figure. Right in the middle there, right on the top, we have our lore book that goes in depth about the bestiary section, all of the characters, the different countries within the Witcher series. If you're a fan of the game or if you've played the game and enjoy the bestiary section or the little character profiles, this expands on that so much. So I highly recommend that. Right underneath that is a wolf head wall sculpture, but it's made out of polyresin. Watch out for the teeth because they are sharp, but it actually comes with a little spot on the back so you can hang it on the walls easily as well. And then directly to the right of that, we have the amazingly powerful and gorgeous sorceress Yennefer Benebarg, Series 2 figure. This is also one of her DLC costumes. I love the detail of this figure. If you can get close enough. One of the things I was worried about in product development was the silver ribbons on her arms. They actually have Farthic runes on them, and I was really worried that it was so detailed that in production it would kind of just get lost and it would just be random little silver scribbles. But I was exceptionally impressed that the factories were able to get that very fine detailed rune work on all of those ribbons. And directly below her is the man himself, Geralt of Rivia. This is him in his third series outfit that we've released for him. This is the Grandmaster Feline set. Eagle-eyed fans will notice that most of that is the Grandmaster Feline, but if you look closely at the pommels of the swords, those aren't actually the swords of the Feline armor set. So in the comments, you could talk about all of the minute details that you've also found too. But yes, so we also have with the Geralt figures a Grandmaster Ursine figure that was previously released that we're reordering now just because of demand. And unfortunately, we weren't able to make it, but we're also resculpting some cool new designs on the first series of Geralt in his default costume. And then for all of your fans that enjoy having juice, we have the stainless steel flask available as well with the kind of faux leather branded sleeve, and it also comes with 2 shot glasses to share with a friend, because no one wants to drink alone. These all literally just arrived in our warehouse this week. This is our first wave of Cyberpunk products available. So we've got the coaster set, the Johnny Silverhand keychain, Johnny Silverhand magnet, a Johnny Silverhand pin, because people have to have enamel pins. And then fans of Night City, we also have a keychain and magnet as well on that. Cool. And just right to the right there is also that just arrived this week in our warehouses are our Umbrella Academy products. We have the Umbrella Academy crest, magnet and keychain, the Umbrella Academy emblem, magnet and keychain, and everyone's favorite homicidal serial killers, Hazel and Cha-Cha. We have those guys in their keychain and magnet set as well. All of our previously released Umbrella Academy products, the magnet 4-packs, enamel pin sets, patches. One of the coolest things with the crest patch, one of my black pullovers had a giant hole in its sleeve, and now I just popped that patch over it, and now I'm cosplaying. It's perfect. So this is a Hazel and Cha-Cha mug. This is our newest mug that we released in our glassware line with Umbrella Academy. So everyone loves Hazel and Cha-Cha because they love their job, and we kind of wanted to lean into that. With a lot of vibrant blood splatter art around the mug. Yeah, you can see Hazel and Cha-Cha over there just cleaning up from a recent job, it looks like. But that's one of my favorite new mugs that we have. And previously, we had our Umbrella Academy crest mug with a nice matte finish. And of course, we wanted to include the interior text of When Evil Reigns, which is actually what Ut malum pluvia actually means in Latin is when evil reigns. So that's kind of the tagline, and that's kind of the Academy creed of the Umbrella Academy. We also have the Hazel and Cha-Cha pint glass sets. Yeah, and we also have journals available, both in kind of a moleskin strap design, as well as those that are just needing new school supplies. We have the compositional recording notebook as well from Umbrella Academy that we had a lot of fun doing, just random Umbrella Academy themed info and useful stuff. Like if anybody becomes a werewolf, it's got the full like timeline effects of lycanthropy, field reference for PSI if you want. On the back as well, we have to scale of all of the ridiculous key features around the world and featured in the Umbrella Academy and their true names, because it's not the Eiffel Tower. Lincoln Memorial is actually the semi-robotic combat drone, so little fun little tweaks that people didn't know. Whenever we make any of our puzzles, I want to make sure that the art is featured first. One of my favorite proposals that I did with CD Projekt Red, bringing it back to those guys, was the fantasy world map of The Witcher. And one cool thing that like I mentioned, whenever I do a puzzle, I want to feature the art first, and I don't want it to be a product placement. I don't want to just feature too many, like, brought to you by Dark Horse Comics, Witcher 3. Like, I want to emphasize the art and the beauty of that. So when we're done putting it together, we like to glue it and put it on the walls. So, yeah, anyway. This is going to be the Kish puzzle, which is very emphasized on a lot of gold and a lot of extravagant street gangs, really featured in the Cyberpunk 2077. Following after the Kish puzzle, we have the Neo Kish. So the Neo Kish style is a lot more extravagant, high-end, very elite. These are the rich people and rich gangs that are going to be featured in Night City. We're happy to show off some of our amazing books that are coming out and have come out. So on the top here, we have the amazing Jedi Fallen Order. This is the regular edition book available at your local retail store, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you can buy books, Amazon. One of my personal favorites that just came out is the Final Fantasy Dot. This is the pixel art of all of the Final Fantasy games that were previously released that featured pixel art. So if you want to have like a deep dive of nostalgia, this is an absolutely beautiful book. And just being able to work with Square Enix is just a dream as well. I got to feature one of my personal favorites. Final Fantasy VI is, of course, my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. Got to show my girl Terra right there. But also, if you continue, it actually shows a lot of pixel renditions of other Final Fantasy games as well. Final Fantasy VII, there may be a remake coming out pretty soon, so that's pretty cool to see, which I'm dying to play. Final Fantasy VIII there. It goes all the way through Final Fantasy IX, all the way to 15. We have the upcoming art of Cuphead. This is the retail version right here. Absolutely gorgeous design and one of the most amazing games. And then right below all of those, Dark Horse is also really well known for doing a deluxe variant version of the regular editions, which give a little bit more for the customer if they want to, want to get a little bit more exclusivity. This is the deluxe edition of the Jedi Fallen Order, the art book. As mentioned before, what we really love to feature is the artists and the people that worked on it too, and their commentary throughout the entire experience, because we really want... Video games is an art form, and we want to show every aspect of that. So this shows a bunch of the interior characters, some of the villains that you're going to be facing, some of the concept art of a lot of the monsters that you fight, because there is a lot of flora and fauna throughout the game that you're going to experience. So one of the coolest features about Cuphead is, although this is the retail edition that's available everywhere, we also have the deluxe edition, which, although it appears to have the same cover, it's actually a different cloth texture design. So it kind of features that antiquated kind of art style. So we wanted to give, with all of our deluxe editions, want to give a step above and just kind of accentuate the difference of the two things. So let's check out the interiors of these bad boys. Of course, one of the first bosses of the game. And what's cool about this art book is you actually get to see the process of the art style and how they made it, because it's very different than other video game development, as they harken back to old school cartoon styles. So an amazing thing with all of our deluxe editions is usually we come with a slipcase or some additional benefit too. So with the deluxe edition of the Art of Cuphead, it comes with this absolutely gorgeous, stylized slipcase that includes this lithograph with the interior cells. Old school cartoons were made with these individual cells and were laid upon each other. So we wanted to emphasize that and kind of lean into the old art style that they features in the game. All of the cells come with this amazing portfolio that you can display as well. Most of our deluxe copies also come with a download code. So even if you don't want to touch the deluxe edition, you're still able to experience it digitally as well. For more information, you can check us out either on our Facebook, Instagram, or our website at darkhorse.com.